Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am Jennifer Huber, also known as Solo Travel Girl. And a month ago, I found a bullseye rash on the back of my leg, and I've been dealing with Lyme disease. So I have posted a couple other videos, but I just want to give you a 1 month update just to let you know what I have been going through. Before I get into my update, I just want to remind you that I'm not a healthcare professional, and I'm just sharing my personal experience about what my Lyme disease journey is looking like. So just to give you a recap, if you are totally new here, on August 9th, which was a Friday night, I felt a lump on my leg, and I actually felt the lump the day before, but I never looked at it, and it was a little itchy during the day. It just felt like a mosquito bite, and that's what I thought it was. I was working in my yard, but a few days earlier on that Tuesday, August 8th, August 6th, I woke up with a stiff neck, a painful neck, and I just thought it was a crick and that it would work its way out during the day, and it did not. And during the week, it progressed to get worse. And then I had shooting pain going up from my neck to the back of my ear, and it was just intense shooting pain. The next day I went to urgent care, where they diagnosed me with a neck strain, not being related to the rash, and diagnosed me with a possible tick disease. I was prescribed 7 days of doxycycline and told to see my primary care doctor in 3 days. I went and saw my primary care. They diagnosed me with Lyme disease based on the rash. And mind you, the rash was on the back of my thigh, so it's not something that I'm always looking at. I'm not looking at my backside. Obviously, I'm going to be doing that more, and I have been. But my doctor also sent me off to get blood work to be tested for Lyme. On that Friday night, this was a Tuesday when I saw the doctor, and then she extended my doxycycline prescription for 3 more days, for a total of 10 days. And she said it could be 10 to 14, but less is more. And I'm like, but I want more. But I was given 10 days of doxycycline. The test results came back on that Friday night and came back positive for Lyme antibodies. And then the bands that are IgM reactive out of range were 23 kD IgM and 41 kD IgM. And in this last 30 days, I've been doing things, and that's what I'm sharing with you. And one of those things is I looked at my results again, and then I noticed that on the IgG side, which indicates a past infection, band 41 kD is IgG. So I have 41 kD IgM, which means an active infection, and then 41 kD IgG means a past infection. Now, as I mentioned, I have 23 as IgM active infection, but it's not showing up as a past infection. So I know these tests can kind of be hinky and not always accurate, and maybe indicate some kind of other past infection that I've had. I hope not, but I just find that interesting. So that's one of the new discoveries that I had. Actually, I had that discovery on Friday, and I will lead up as to why I noticed that. But so anyway, when the blood test came back, that was a Friday night, and I messaged my doctor on Monday morning saying, I saw the results. Can I have an extension of antibiotics for a total of 14 days? And she said, no, 10 days is enough. There's no need. Okay. So then, not last week, but 2 weeks ago, the health department reached out to me because state statute that they need to be notified from the lab and from the doctor when there's a case of Lyme so they can track it. They went over my symptoms and my travel history, determined that I probably picked it up in Western New York when I was up there the last 2 weeks of July. But who knows? I could have got it in my yard. I could have got it walking my dog in the neighborhood. But I know it is rare in Southwest Florida, and it's most likely that I did pick it up in New York. I'm 90% sure that's where I picked it up, but we shall see. But anyway, the health department said that I should be retested in 6 months to make sure that those IgM bands are now IgG. And that's why it clicked with me when I saw my report that, wait a minute, there's an IgG here already. And when the health department called me, they asked me if it was an old infection or a new infection. So I didn't ask her why she thought it was an old infection. And maybe that's just something she needs to say, but maybe she noticed this IgG band. So have I had Lyme for longer than thought? I don't know. And maybe that's why my symptoms are the way they are. So a month later, my symptoms are still brain fog. My neck stiffness and pain is alleviating, but it's still there. Still have a headache at the back of my head. Also have a headache in the front of my head. My vision in my right eye, which is my dominant eye, is deteriorating. I have like these heavy floaters. It just seems like there's a smudge in front of my eyes. It's not my contacts. It's not my glasses. I've taken those out. I have noticed when it was kind of freaky Friday night when I was going to bed, I had my bedroom light on and all the other lights were out. But when I went to go to bed, it looked like this part of my eye was just dark. It's okay during the day, but just at night, I don't know, it's just like looking at partial of a little bit of a tunnel there. I'm still seeing those polka dots when I'm driving, like it's like almost looks like something is jumping out in front of the car or something. I know that I need to be extra cautious when driving. I mentioned brain fog. My joints, especially in my joints or bones that I have broken in the past, or where I had root canal cavities, there'll be just like random shots of pain there. I've noticed swelling in my feet and my hands and that, and low-grade fever. Like today was actually, I woke up, it was 98.9, which is actually good, even though I usually run less than 98.6. And then, so this week, that was that, and the highest was like 99.9. So I've been in the 99s and upper 98s for my temperature. So I hope that means that it's baking out any bacteria in there. So things that I have noticed with Lyme, or what I've been doing, when my pets have been really clingy and needy than usual. They want to sleep on me or sleep right next to me, including my cats. And I have noticed when I've been ill before, like when I had a hysterectomy, they wanted to cuddle with me more. So maybe it's just their instinct and their need to heal. But I've noticed that they have noticed something with me that's going on. I've been doing a lot of research, and perhaps too much Google research, or just going into the wormholes and stuff and looking at research on Lyme. And honestly, there's not a lot about it. I mean, there are some groups that are gaining, so to say, and doing more research. But doing a lot of research and joined some Facebook groups, and I think I went down some dark holes in the Facebook groups. A lot of it is very challenging. I mean, a lot of people are suffering and they haven't been getting answers, and many people have had it much longer than me. I mean, I've only had it at least a month, maybe longer. But these poor people who have had it for years and just getting no solution to it, is, I feel their frustration in that, and it's eye-opening and scary, and that's had me think a lot about my facing my mortality with all this, just thinking what I need to get done with my own life. I mean, I know this isn't necessarily a death sentence. It's not like I got bit by a walker from The Walking Dead. I'm not going to turn into a zombie or something. But this just gives me pause for life. Like, is my life going to be really different a year from now? And I need to prepare for that, because with this brain fog, my eye issues and that, how is it going to alleviate? And I'm going to have an answer, or not an answer, but I'm going to share information at the end of this video about that. I've been more interested in self-care. That's something that I really haven't been interested in before, but getting out the frou-frou lotion, so to say. Went to Bath and Body Works and they had a sale, and I picked up some nice smelling, not scrubs, but creams and shampoo and body wash, which the chemicals might not be good for me, but at least it's giving me some, makes me feel like I'm taking care of myself. I have a salt light lamp, that'll be burning a little bit more, and I've been looking at going to a salt room. I don't know if that's going to do anything, so to say, but self-care has been more on my radar than before. I do need to get my eyebrows done and maybe get a facial. It's payday this week, so maybe that'll be on my agenda. I've been frustrated. I went back to my doctor twice to ask for more antibiotics because I'm still having these symptoms, and the answer both times has been no. And the health department gave me the website address for the CDC, which I already knew, cdc.gov, to look up what I can about Lyme. And sure, it says 10 days of antibiotics when you have the rash and no other symptoms. But if there's the rash and other symptoms, it's 14 to 21 days. So I've been frustrated, and I thought when I saw my endocrinologist and I said something to her about having Lyme disease, and she was really taken aback and just told me to be careful with it. But I was hoping that she would give me more antibiotics when I told her that I only had 10 days and then I still had these symptoms. That's not the case, but everything happens for a reason. But I'm finding optimism because I'm so blessed that I have people looking out for me. And as someone had commented that, yes, I need to be my own advocate. And when you're not feeling so hot, it's hard being your own advocate. And me, not that I want you to take pity on me, I'm not asking for that, but living by myself and not really having a good support network where I live, it's challenging and it's scary, but I do have a few good people in my corner, which alleviates things, and I appreciate it. Let's see. I guess those are the upper level things. I did go on a stand-up paddleboard trip. I can't remember. I guess I should watch the video from last week, but I'm so glad that I took that. I was out in Clearwater, out in a bay up there at night. It was a bioluminescence tour. There was a goat there, and it was just a wonderful time being on the water and being outside, and it helped rejuvenate me, just reconnecting with Mother Nature. I joke around with my friends that if I was going to get any type of disease, this kind of makes sense, Lyme disease, because it has a connection to the outdoors, and I love being outside and enjoying the outdoors. So that's a little bit of irony there, and me trying to be positive about this whole experience, even though it is not fun. But in my readings, and I'm going to share a book. I read 2 books. Well, not read. Audiobooks. I got through one of them, and then I'm halfway through. The one that I'm more than halfway through, it was Yolanda. I don't know her last name. She was on the Housewives of Beverly Hills. Never saw it, but it's just very interesting what she's going through, and what she's going through is kind of what I'm feeling a little bit. She knows that she comes from privilege, and she was able to go all over the world and get different types of treatments and stuff, and most of the time, at least as far as I've gotten into the book, it really hasn't resolved her issue. But she's laid out, I mean, it sounds like tens of thousands of dollars. It's giving me anxiety every time that she says how much she has to pay for treatment and medications and stuff like that, and how that she is mindful that she is coming from privilege, and that she hopes that this treatment can be available someday to people who aren't in the same position as her. And this is why I feel a little bit guilty about the resolution that I have now, the optimism that I have. As I mentioned, I have people in my corner looking out for me, and I'll just say right now that I guess you could say it's someone's personal physician, a private physician, has connected with me, and he has put together a whole new protocol for the next 3 weeks. I will do that in another video as to what it is involved, but I went to CVS on Friday after work, and I picked up 5 new prescriptions. It was a combination of medications and prescribed supplements, and then I picked up a whole bunch of supplements, and then I picked up some electrolytes because those were BOGO. I have been eating somewhat clean because I am on Mounjaro for my diabetes, my type 2 diabetes, and I've been on that for over 2 years. I have lost about 60 pounds. I have lowered my A1C. I've reversed my non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. I have lowered my blood pressure. So I guess my body hopefully is ready to take on this horrible disease, but we shall see. My point being is that Mounjaro itself didn't lower my A1C or help me lose the weight or reverse my non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It was actually changing my lifestyle, changing what I'm eating and my exercise. So I am looking at a gluten-free diet. I am looking at not eating mammals anymore and maybe totally plant-based, but we shall see. I love honey too much. I love chicken wings too much, but I love my life more than all that. So all right, my friends, that's all I have to say right now. And thank you so much for tuning in and catching up with me as to what I've been going through this last month. I hope my next update will be positive as well. And if you're going through this, just keep on fighting and being your best advocate. And just remember, life's too short, so always say yes to adventure. Bye.